I'm Patrick.
This is Will.
And I'm Chris, and we are Guys with Character. Badoo.
Badoo.
And the character that we're talking about today, he's fiery. Some would say he's ablaze. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think a lot of people would say that.
Johnny Blaze. Not to be confused with Johnny Shatz.
No, you don't want to confuse that.
Ghost
Or combine them, if we're being honest.
Blazing Shatz.
Right. You don't want to do that.
Oh. That's what happened. Never mind.
What happens after you eat Taco Bell?
No, that is not what I was. I love Taco Bell.
I do
anyway,
too.
So, Johnny Blaze, also known as Ghost Rider. I don't know if he has a slogan. I was going to say.
I don't know.
Well, Spirit of Vengeance. That would be his thing.
Sure.
Also known as the Spirit of Vengeance.
Or one of them.
So I hope you guys brought some interesting things today. I brought my Marvel encyclopedia that Christoph brought up in the email from last week's issue.
He did.
So, because I was like, you know what? I checked it out. It tells you how tall they are and their weight and everything. I haven't looked at this in years.
Nice.
Like I said, I bought this, I think, like in high school or something. So anyway, but it does say first appearance of Ghost Rider was in Marvel Spotlight Volume 1, number 5.
Wow.
Johnny 5
Number 5.
is alive.
I feel like we should have waited till the 5th episode of this.
Well, I mean, we can't do that with all of their
I
first
know we can't,
appearances. And that was in August of 1972.
Good year.
Hey, he's older than I am.
I thought you were making a tire joke because he drives something. No, I'm just... But anyway, Johnny Blaze made a deal with the devil, who was actually Mephisto. In the comic, it said it was Satan, but I'm sure retroactively they probably went back and said it was Mephisto. I don't know. It says it was Mephisto posing as Satan.
Who knows?
I always thought Mephisto was Marvel's Satan, but he made a deal to try to save his dad's life. His dad was sick and dying, and he was a stuntman, and he made a deal with the devil to spare his life, took on the Spirit of Vengeance.
Yeah. Instead of getting a gold violin, he got the Spirit of Vengeance.
And as the Spirit of Vengeance at night, when the sun falls, he's overtaken by hellfire, and his motorcycle is also created by hellfire.
That really has to make it a pain to sleep.
Yeah, I mean, it's a third shift job. You sleep during the day.
Sure.
Otherwise, you burn through all your pillows.
Right. Nobody wants that.
Because if you don't know what Ghost Rider looks like, he's a biker with a flaming skull for a head.
Yep.
And he fights people with a big old chain.
And he stares at them.
The penance stare. That actually came later. That wasn't one of his original abilities.
No, from what I read, he developed that from his brother, Danny.
So, his powers, this according to the Marvel Encyclopedia, turns into a superhuman mystical being that projects hellfire. Ghost Rider 1 can create a mystical motorcycle from hellfire. Ghost Rider 2's penance stare causes wrongdoers to suffer the same emotional pain they inflicted. That was
emotional damage is what I thought when I read that.
That's hilarious.
That is amazing.
Dude.
Just imagine if that, like, you have a comic, right? You're reading it. He's like, penance stared. It like zooms into his eye like the movie. And it's just like that Asian guy doing that meme.
That would be amazing.
Steven, I can't remember, but he's hilarious.
Hilarious.
I now want to see an edit of the Ghost Rider movie that just shows every time Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider does that, and then it shows him going emotional damage.
Yes, that would be
that would be amazing.
Truly would be amazing.
Oh shoot!
I agree.
But anyway, those are the origins. Pretty simple. His dad still dies in a stunt accident too.
How long?
Deals with the devil never go right.
Right, but how long did he have? Like, was it the next day that he died?
I don't know. Neither of the things I read said that.
Huh.
My guess is it was it was soon after. But yeah, Zarathos, the spirit of vengeance, is what he bonds with, and eventually it gets trapped and he gets freed or something. And then there's a dude who bonds and gets a cool car.
And that's Knight Rider. Oh, wait, no.
I think that's the third Ghost Rider.
Maybe.
But anyway, Patrick
Yeah.
or Will, which one of you is going to go first?
Will's going to go first.
Will's going to go first.
Am I going to go first?
Yeah, throw out a villain.
Well, we already talked about one, Mephisto, who is kind of like the antagonist for Ghost Rider.
I have Gummin and nobody.
We were just going to let you go.
We know how people like mouth sounds.
Shoot, didn't even think about it. I heard me chew in my headset and went, oops.
But
anyway,
Mephisto is just
Mephisto.
kind of like the main. He's like the Joker to, Batman. Ghost Rider. Mephisto is his like arch nemesis, and there are several times he actually teams up with some of his other enemies. It seems to just fight Mephisto. Like everybody has it out for him. Like Mephisto has a son named Blackheart. Well, quote unquote son. And at one point in time, Blackheart tries to recruit Ghost Rider and some other characters to just go and kill his dad. And they're like, maybe not. But
Nice. Patrick.
So one of the story arcs that I ran across was Vicious Cycle.
Oh, is that a play on
Get
words
it?
because it's a motorcycle?
It may be.
Yeah.
Pat loves those.
It starts with Johnny Blaze escaping hell, but he didn't escape alone. Now he has to bring Lucifer back to hell where he belongs. It says it was a great way to start reading one of the best writers of Ghost Rider.
Did it say who it is?
Probably. I forgot to write it down.
Wow.
They could look up, the title.
I'll look it up while you guys talk.
Anyway, what other villain do you have?
We talked about his penance stare.
Yes.
Right? There's actually one villain it sort of backfired on, and his name was Madcap. So Madcap is like a Deadpool-esque character who just has like crazy healing factor to where he's basically immortal. And there's a story arc where Madcap goes into like the Newark like Central Station, and he does something to like enrage everybody, and everybody's kind of killing each other and attacking.
Is that his ability? He just like incites people?
I guess.
Interesting.
But Ghost Rider shows up and stops him, and he does his penance stare on him. But because of Madcap's healing factor and everything, he can't feel emotions or pain. And so it was like the first time that he had actually felt pain with the penance stare. And he basically looks at Ghost Rider and he's like, hey, joke's on you, I'm into this. That was actually really good. Do
What?
it again. Yeah, and so it was like his most sinister, like messed up villain that Ghost Rider has to deal with is the guy who's just like, stare at me more, big boy. And
What?
yeah.
I like those eyes that you're giving me.
It was Daniel Way. The
Oh,
writer.
no way.
Thanks, Will.
Yes way.
Okay, so the second one that I found that I deemed worthy of being written down was Ghost Rider, The Road to Damnation. Johnny Blaze has been in hell for 2 years looking for a way out. An angel, I did not write down names because I knew I was going to just royally screw it up. So an angel comes to Johnny with a mission to stop a demon and take him back to hell. If he can do that, the angel will get Johnny out. This story was met with critical acclaim and is a must-read for comic fans.
Oh, fun.
Yeah,
I'll help you get out if you help me catch this thing.
right, pretty much.
Wow, that's kind of a fun one.
So he made a deal with the devil and he made a deal with an angel. He's just
He
such a
doesn't have a
businessman.
lot of his own agency. He just he's like, I need help.
He needs to get like a business lawyer or something. Be like, can
Something.
you look over this contract with the
And-
devil beforehand?
He was in hell.
Yeah, right. So that comes before Way's story. It'd have to,
Maybe.
most likely, unless he ends up there often. I don't know.
Who knows? It could be.
Could be.
Will.
Another name that you guys might recognize from the Doctor Strange movie, the first one,
Yeah.
Dormammu.
Dormammu.
Ah.
Nice.
He does fight against him several times, and at one point in time, Dormammu tricks Doctor Strange into fighting Ghost Rider. I think I said writer. He doesn't write things for people who then put their name on it.
I mean, he might do that when he's not Ghost Rider.
At night, I'm Ghost Rider. During the day, I'm a Ghost Writer.
Anyway.
Yes.
So how'd the Dormammu thing go?
From what I read, they kind of figured out what was going on, and by the end, they just
Team up and
defeat.
Yeah, that's how it always
Dormammu.
goes. Classic
Because-
comic moment.
Pretty much.
Yeah, apparently because of the mystical nature of Ghost Rider, he actually pairs well with Doctor Strange's magic. Because during this arc, Doctor Strange is the Grand Wizard or whatever he's called, Sorcerer Supreme.
Sorcerer Supreme.
And so he's able to kind of use Ghost Rider's Hellfire against Dormammu.
Nice.
Kind of
Awesome.
That's
kicks
interesting.
some butt.
They're both in the video game Marvel Midnight Suns. So that makes sense.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, because it's all about the magic side of stuff.
Yeah.
Patrick.
And then last but not least, this one is called Hellbent and Heaven Bound. Johnny Blaze finally discovers the source of all of his pain and suffering. He must get past many obstacles to get his vengeance. This story has amazing artwork and excellent writing by Jason Aaron, his debut on Ghost Rider.
Oh, Jason Aaron. That's a modern writer. He's in current comics. That must be a fairly new one then.
Yeah.
Ah, cool.
2011, I think.
Yeah, that's Jason Aaron. I want to say, I could be wrong. I want to say Jason Aaron worked on that Thor with the God Butcher.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure that was Jason Aaron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I got this week.
Very nice. Will, do you have any other villains? Did you bring any quirky villains as well?
He just had a whole bunch of demons that he was fighting, like Lilith and what was another one? That angel guy came up once. I think his name was
Zerubbabel.
Nope.
it was.
I don't
It
know.
Started
didn't-
with an M.
I didn't read about that. One.
Machiel.
There was one with a Z.
Had a D in it. I don't know.
It's Z. I don't
That's why I
remember that
didn't
one.
write it down. I was like, I ain't pronouncing this.
Dang
But it seemed like a lot of his enemies became frenemies because whenever I was reading, it's he teamed up with this villain, that he had fought several times to fight Mephisto during this arc. It's does he have any hard up enemies that he just won't team up with?
Probably Mephisto. That's
Yeah.
his only one.
Yeah.
Although technically that's where he got his power. Maybe that's the problem. When your power comes from bad guys,
Yeah.
you're like, well,
It's kind of he's like a hero / anti-hero kind of thing going
yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Did you have any other specific ones? though?
I did write down I think you mentioned Zarathos.
I don't think so.
Did you not? Oh, maybe you didn't. But anyway, Zarathos is he was one of the minions that Mephisto had that started gaining too much power. He was collecting too many souls. So he ended up binding him to Ghost Rider.
Oh, yes. That's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
spirit
yeah.
of vengeance.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's what part of his power.
Yeah, it's part of his power. But towards the end of Johnny Blaze's stint as Ghost Rider, Zarathos gets free and is able to kind of break Johnny's contract with Mephisto and kind of allow him to return to normal life. And so it was an enemy because of Mephisto, but at the end they were kind of, more frenemies than...
Does he lose his powers when that happens? Do you know? Did it say?
Yeah, he lost them for a while, and then Mephisto shows up, and he's like, you either got to take them back because of X, Y, or Z, or find a replacement.
Oh, that's what it is.
So-
Somebody's got to be the spirit of vengeance.
Yeah.
Why can't the spirit of vengeance be the spirit of vengeance?
Maybe he can't. Maybe he needs a corporeal body to function.
Maybe.
I'm just saying.
Does it have to be human? Could you
Versus
make
a dog?
Yeah, like a dog or a cat.
Boy, that would be scary. A dog that's got the Ghost Rider power.
Heck yeah. Would you turn into Cerberus?
Dude, all
That
I
would be
know
sick.
That would be.
is that one day he was like, man, I know what my problem is. It's just his head's not been on fire that whole time. Like you said that, like he finally realized like how to, like what had been wrong, and he sets out for vengeance and stuff. And I was like, yeah, his head's on fire.
Sure.
But so he separates and he gets a normal life for a while.
Yeah, for like a little bit.
Yeah, because comics can't ever leave people alone. They never move forward. Not really.
So, I think I'm not a big fan of this Guys with Characters because it's making me want to read more comics.
That's interesting.
So it's bad because it's good.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I kind of want to read about Ghost Rider now.
But you could.
I know I can. I just don't have the time.
But yeah.
I'm still working through Squirrel Girl's Omnibus.
Hopefully, you're not the only one listening to this that's feeling those feelings.
I hope so.
That are being felt.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that's what you do with feelings.
Right.
You feel them.
So hopefully, some of our listeners out there are also going, maybe I'd like to check this character out.
I know, right?
Yeah. And easily found like some cursory Google searches on best story arcs or things like that. It's pretty easy to find.
Right.
Also, as much as we try to encourage people to support the local stores, if you ever did want to just dip your toe in and you have one of those apps, a lot of them you can look up things by character as well. It'll say like get to know so-and-so or
Sure.
whatever. And a lot of their big story arcs will be in there. Some of them won't make as much sense because they don't understand how to curate properly sometimes. They're like, this is a big arc, and it's like, yeah, but it only matters if you've read X, Y, and
Sure.
Z.
Sure.
But yeah, well, that was a fun one.
Yeah, one of the problems with looking up this stuff is there was a lot that wasn't Johnny Blaze.
It was the other Ghost Riders.
Right.
Yeah, he was the first, but he definitely isn't the only.
Well, he was the first
To have the comics.
released with the comics, but he was not the
Yes.
first Ghost Rider.
Well,
like
you
lore-
mean like
lore-wise.
lore-wise. Well, that's
I think
totally different.
The first one, lore-wise, was named like Carter Slade or something.
Well, those get added in later.
They do. I just wanted to tell people.
That it's a lineage.
Right. And
Was
he
that-
had a horse.
I was going to ask if it was a horse.
Yeah, he was from the Civil War.
Oh, then he instead of a horse, he should have had one of those like really big wheeled bikes with the tiny wheel in the back.
I mean, that would have been okay with me too.
That
But
would
he
have
had
been
a horse.
epic
Yeah.
as a fiery vehicle.
Yeah, and there was one I almost writ. Wow. I'm just going to stop talking. There's one I almost wrote down that was actually a race between all four of them.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That'd be a cool issue.
Yeah, but I didn't know how far we were going on the just Johnny Blaze stuff, so I didn't write it down.
I mean, to be fair, last week's was Reed Richards, a.k.a. the whole Fantastic
It
Four,
was.
basically.
It was. Because I couldn't find anything with just Reed Richards, but I guess I didn't look hard enough.
I mean, it still always circles back in some capacity to being involved with the Fantastic Four. Like, pretty close.
Sure.
Pretty close.
I can't imagine otherwise.
So anyway, either of you have anything else you want to throw out there on Ghost Rider? Anything you learned? No?
Nope. I think that was it.
Well, what character do we have in store for you next week? Tune in and find out.
Yeah, and if you've noticed, I've been posting teasers on social media. You should go check those out, like them, share them.
Yeah, Will came up with a really cool Who's That Pokemon picture.
No, right?
The next day you get to see who that is.
Yep, works out pretty well.
It's pretty fun. You should check it out.
All right, well, I'm Patrick.
And this is Will.
And I'm Chris, and we are Guys with Character.
So much character.
You can catch Guys with Issues anywhere you find your favorite podcasts.
Or check out our website at guyswithissues.com, where you can listen, find reading lists, follow along, and get to know us better.
Send us emails to longbox@guyswithissues.com and tell us your thoughts or send us suggestions on what we should read next. We would love to hear from our listener.